Good evening, everyone. I'm just making sure that we are live and up and running all right. So once I see that on my phone and everything with the video and audio is coming through, then we'll get into this unboxing content. Looking very forward to actually showcasing this. Let's try what time usually works best when you reload it. Okay, my channel. Alright, how's this? Am I? Yep. Okay. I seem to be coming through all clear, so good. Alrighty, so I've been meaning to actually show this video, well, actually do this video because I'm currently live right now, so it's not pre-recorded. This arrived on the 5th, I believe, and I think today is currently the 9th, so it arrived 4 days ago. And it's the PS4 version to the Persona 5 20th Anniversary Collector's Box Edition. And it was through my same seller through eBay, Sakuriyu, who is the seller that I purchased the Psycho Break 1 and 2 through. And so just like the first order of his and everything, this arrived earlier than expected and also in pristine condition. I've already checked everything as well. Usually I take it out of the actual wrapping and stuff on these sort of videos, but I got a little bit too excited and wanted to show a friend the other night. So we had a look through at everything, and yeah, everything is great. So let me actually show you what this comes with. You'll be able to see from the thumbnail, but I'll just show you in a bit more detail and everything. So once you actually open it and everything, that's the back as well. Very, very nice art design. You expect nothing less when it comes to the Persona series as well as Atlas. So once you take off the top and everything, you'll be meted with this lovely segment. And I was like, what is this at first? And then I was like, oh my God, hang on a second. It's my letter from the Velvet Room. And if you're familiar with the game, you'll know exactly what that is, or if you're familiar with the series, because the Velvet Room is also in Persona 4, and I haven't started Persona 3 yet, so, but I would presume that it would still contain the Velvet Room in there. So I'll show that letter for last, all right, even though it's the first thing we encounter. I actually took a look at this box in reverse, and that's how we will be doing this video also. So we'll take everything off, all right? So the back's removed. Pardon me. You'll have this nice black card and everything that we just fit straight back into the very back of the box and everything. Very nice and neat and everything. I like that they actually had this. It just gives it that little bit more artistic feel to it. Very nice. We'll set that aside for now. And put this down over here. So first up for this reveal is the art book and everything, and we had a thorough look through this, and I'll show you this thoroughly as I possibly can as well. So it's the Persona 5 art book, The Aesthetics. So let's take a look at this. Like, it's lovely artwork. I'll try to be as careful as I can. it might actually be fairly difficult to showcase each individual page and everything um, on video, but I'll do my best to just give a few looks at what's actually inside, so that way I don't damage my book and everything. And if it comes down to it, I'll see if I can take a few minutes out of my day and everything to take um, the photos and everything of the pages and upload them. But but here we are. I think I found something fairly nice and able actually. So this is the best I'll be able to actually showcase and everything in terms of showing what's on the pages as well as trying to be as careful as possible. Love Lady Auntie Kamaki-san. I can never just say late. I can never just say Auntie Kamaki. It just feels so weird. So yeah, just there's. I love how there's so much detail in it, and if memory serves me correctly, I think they took like a 10-year gap and everything to actually develop Persona 5. There was like a 10 years gap between Persona 4 and Persona 5. So with them taking that extra time and really focusing on this within that decade really paid off in the long run. They truly created a masterpiece, and then I believe it was released in 2015, 2016 for Persona 5, and then about 3 to 4 years later in 2018, 2019, they did a re-release, but it was the Persona 5 Royale edition, to where they added the character of who turned out to be one of my top favorite characters, Kasumi Yoshizawa, and you find out about her story. But they also added an alternate ending, and they also added Dr. Miyuki. So I have been meaning to go through Persona 5 and get the platinum for that, because I did go and get the platinum for Persona 5 Royale. I have started Persona 5, but I'm like right at the beginning stage anyway. I still haven't earned any trophies, I don't think. So I'll recap that for my for my channel, part of my Persona series. And if there's a Japanese trophy stacking list as well, then we'll also go with that. And I will also find out about the stack. I think I did already check that, but I can't exactly remember at this precise moment in time. But if if there is a Japanese trophy list as well to both the Persona 5 version as well as the Royale, then I will do a platinum playthrough to um, both versions. And this is one of my favorite games and everything. So I have no difficulty and no problem in putting in the hours required to actually obtain the platinum. If memory serves correctly, it took me about 110 to 115 hours just to finish my first playthrough, and then it was just about like another 5 hours or something just to do the new game plus and rush through basically half of the game just to get like the last trophy or two that I was missing just because I didn't bond with a particular character or something enough. So overall, it was about roughly about a 120 to 130 hour platinum time, but I loved every moment of it and loved the story. And yeah, so going through Persona 5, that's without Kasumi. I'm I'm pretty sure her name's Kasumi. I'm starting to doubt myself and everything. But either way, like without having her in it or Dr. Miyuki and that alternate ending, it's just going to feel incredibly strange. And I know there are some changes made between the Persona 5 version compared to when they did the Royale version. So I am aware of that, as to where one of the main changes was in terms of the Reaper, I believe, that you battle in Mementos, and it's trophy. You'll get a trophy if you defeat the Reaper. And they did make a change in how the Reaper functions in the two separate versions and everything. But it was a lot of fun. Loving all this artwork and stuff. We're almost at the end of the book, and then we can showcase the rest. I'm starting to feel like I'm on play school and everything. Instead, I'm just not reading out the book and everything and stuff. Just giving a bit of my own personal input and details about the game series and my experience and stuff. But certainly loved every moment of it, and I look very forward to going through this. The animation that they did as well, because you have the Persona 4 Golden anime. I only managed to felt to where I sort of felt like they started rushing the animation and story like they had with Persona 4, but still an absolute masterpiece. So they had created like a masterpiece with Persona 5, but then when they brought out the Royale version just a couple of years later and everything, and with the added changes and story content and stuff that they had added to the new edition, was truly just like the icing on the cake. So they already had something grand, golden, and mastered, and they just managed to somehow even upgrade that to next top tier level. And I truly appreciate that we were thankful enough to get uh, the Royale version. And Persona 5 was the first ever Persona game I begun, started, and have finished. And it was a very, very good introduction. So it pretty much cemented my love for the series and everything from day dot. I will be finishing off my Persona 4 Golden series I was doing earlier this year. Been meaning to get back into that. And I'll try to get through Persona 3 as well this year, hopefully, depending on how much time I can get and all that. Because we also have releasing in February next year the next part to Persona 3 and everything. So I want to have Persona 3 hopefully up on my channel and completed and platinumed by the time that we get greeted with the next part. But with everything else that I'm trying to get done for my channel and other games that I've got planned that are coming out that I want to have streamed, it seems fairly unlikely that that will be possible. But I will surely do my best and everything in case of delivering all the content and everything as promised and everything. Same with the DMC Devil May Cry series. Because for anyone who's been following with my channel, I'm currently also studying. Just finished a short film recently. I just wrote the lyrics to the song today, and now I'm putting the structure to it. And yeah, I've been very busy, and uh, I haven't been posting as much because I have been busy, and we filmed 3 days back to back, and it was a very serious emotional character, which was great. So I'm looking really forward to everyone having the chance to actually see me portray a character more like this instead of being more comedic. So that's really good. But yeah, I have been other than that, beside being busy, I have been sort of fairly depressed and everything, and I try not to have that too much on my channel because who really wants to come and join for a depressed channel, you know? So I usually fight through it and I put on a brave face and everything. And there's been many times throughout this year to where like I've done my streams and everything, and I've been in some of my darkest moments, but I've been able to act like nothing was phasing me. But that's just something you got to learn to do, especially when you're trying to be a YouTuber, or even celebrities have to put on their brave face as well, you know? Not that I'm a celebrity, that's not at all what I meant. Okay, moving on to the next part. So that was the art book, the aesthetics. And now just putting that back in carefully. And then after that, you have this wonderful setup and everything. So I'll show you the soundtrack next. I do actually own the Persona 5 specific soundtrack, and I'm pretty sure it's the Persona 5 Royale specific soundtrack as well. So this here, as to let me read it out just so I can be clear with this. It's a 20th anniversary of Persona series all-time best album, and it comes with a total of 5 CDs. So from what I get from this, because I haven't had a chance to listen to this just as of yet, I would expect that this would be meaning that this would be like a compilation CD of best tracks from like Persona 1 through to 5 that has been taking place over the past 20 years. That's how I interpret it. I don't know if that's actually the case, but that's just how I've taken it. And that's why I thought it was just a little bit necessary for me to also mention that I do actually own the Persona 5 soundtrack specifically as well, and that also came with about 4 or 5 discs as well. I'll have to grab it because it's in my bookshelf behind me. But I'll probably just post a photo and everything of that in the community or something. It's the same when I was showing about the Evil Within collector cards and soundtrack, because when I pre-ordered the Evil Within back when it came out in 2013, but for some reason it keeps saying 14, which just doesn't feel right. I did also get the lenticular card edition part of the box set with this Fighting Chance survival pack, and it did also give me a physical copy of Sebastian's journal and everything. So that's also some extra content that I haven't actually um, showcased as to something else that I own to the Evil Within, which is a series that I, as you would know from the videos on my channel and stuff, that I am a major fan of and love it to absolute bits. And once we get word on the third one and there's a release date and everything set, you can bet that I will already have that already on pre-order. So we have disc 3 and 4 as well, and then we finish it off and everything with the final disc with disc 5. I do also own the cosplay to the characters of Lady Aunt Takamaki-san and Makoto Nijima. And a couple of years back, I think it was 2020, 2021, I went to a sci-fi event known as Space Brains, which was hosted down in Mandurah in October, I believe it was. And this is still a reoccurring event, and I think you will be able to. We should be having another Space Brains event coming up in October, most likely, to where they showcase like local sci-fi films that are created and stuff, and it's just like a really nice time out and meet like-minded people and just have a good time, have some food, have some drinks, listen to some music. It's a really nice event. And so with it being a sci-fi event, you're expecting everyone to be dressed up as Wookiee and Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Doc and Marty, and Indiana Jones, like all that sort of stuff. And there were people dressed up specifically like that. But I've rocked up in my cosplay to Lady Ann Takamaki-san, so everyone certainly gave me very odd looks because they're dressed up as like aliens and drones and all this sort of stuff, and I've literally walked into an event dressed as a Japanese high school girl. So that was a that was certainly a very very fun night. So that's the 5 track soundtrack and everything that you get with this collector's edition. I believe you can also get this edition for the PlayStation 3 version as well. And I will be doing my research to see if you can get the same type of edition or a similar edition for the Royale version, because I know they released a Royale Collector's Edition, which I haven't had the chance to obtain, unfortunately. But that is on my to-do list. And so if I do ever manage to actually obtain a copy and everything, I will certainly be doing another video like this with the unboxing content and walking you through everything. And here we are. We have the actual Persona 5 video game itself. It is the Japanese version, as some people who may have seen some of my previous content and everything would be aware that I am gathering more and more Japanese stuff as possible. Here we got some like more promotional stuff, and I've got like another piece that I can't show because it's got my promotion code, even though I can't use it because I reside in Australia and I don't have a Japanese account, so therefore I can't actually post it anyway. That's the disc art and everything for this one, and I really like that disc art. And then behind that as well, without removing the cover, I'll just take the disc out. I really like the sort of comic layout that they've actually got behind. I think that's really nice. I am also collecting the manga series to the Persona 5 as well. So pretty much anything and everything Persona, I'm doing my best to collect. And now we're down to the final piece, which is our Velvet Room letter. So I can place that back. And let me try to grab this out as carefully as possible. So we just lift up the sticker. I'll have to send the photo through to one of my senseis and ask if they can translate this for me. Or I could even put it as one of my part-time goals. Well, not part-time, but course-wide wise goals into, by the time I finish this course, I want to be able to understand this conversation and be able to translate this letter. And so in here, you get a very, very lovely letter from Igor himself, with a collector's card and everything. So I will have to obviously get the letter translated and everything because I'm not at that level yet. But I do recognize some of the characters. I'm like, okay, so that's that. But even if I was able to memorize like all the characters already and be like, okay, it says this in Japanese, I would still be lost at the point of being like, okay, well, I've said that in Japanese, but what does that translate to English? So the card is removable and everything. That also has a code on the back there, so I won't actually show that. So there's the card by itself. And just behind where the card is held is the Phantom Thief logo, Take Your Heart, which I think was a very lovely um, graphical design addition touch piece of resistance. It was really nice. So yeah, I've been extremely happy, and like I said, like I've been meaning to do this video for like the past 4 days now. But I finally got to it. And in a couple of weeks I will receive from the same seller, Sakura. I will be receiving the it's pretty much the same sort of deal, but for what they did with Persona 5 Strikers. But for some reason, the Japanese version doesn't call it Strikers. They call it Scramble. So in a couple of weeks and everything, I actually have a collector's edition and everything, which will provide similar content as to what has just been shown in this video and everything, but to Persona 5 Scramble, which for what we got was Persona 5 Strikers. And I'll also be having that done on my channel as well. And that has been our collector's edition, which has been absolutely fantastic. And in just a month or so, I can't even believe we're in September. I've missed out on so many games I wanted to pre-order. I'm kind of lost at where everything's at. But just in a couple of weeks and everything, to like just over a month or something now, unless it comes out in November, we will be receiving Persona 5 Tactica, which I will also be doing for my channel, and I'm very excited for, and I'm interested in having it with this new gameplay change as well, like how they changed the gameplay from Persona 5 or Royale to Strikers or Scramble, and now they've changed it again for Tactica. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking very forward to it. And it's a bittersweet because we're coming up practically to the 10-year mark now, or close to it, and everything, about 8 years or everything of Persona 5. And we have been fortunate enough to get a like, we got the Persona 5 version, then a couple of years later we got the Royale version on top of that. We were thankful enough to get like the soundtrack, but we got the animation, and then we even got a sequel, which was Scramble / Strikers, and now we're receiving another one, Tactica, and that's fantastic. But the reason why I say it's bittersweet is because, like, I'm very attached to the characters in the Persona 5 segment, and when you take a look at how many years Persona 5 has been going for now, and the amount of content that they've dished out, it's highly possible that Tactica may be the last segment that we'll receive to the Persona 5 series before they end up moving on to Persona 6. Or maybe they've already been working on Persona 6 while they've had another team give us strikers and work on Tactica, so that way we're not left in like a 10-year gap from like Persona 4 to Persona 5. So who knows? But point is, it's a high chance that Persona 5 Tactica may be the very last piece that we will get to the same beloved characters that we've come to know over the past eight-ish years, 10 years nearly. And yeah, so that's a bit of sweet, but I'm sure when they do end up producing Persona 6, I'm sure that they would have created another wonderful cast and storyline for us to really sink our teeth into and really become attached to. Because like I love the characters to Persona 4 that I've got to experience, and I've seen the anime and everything. But like one of my main reasons of loving the anime, but I must mention I didn't know that when I started the anime. I only found out when it got up to said episode. Troy Baker, he voices in Persona 4 and everything. He does the voice to the character Kenji and everything. I don't know their names well enough to give you like their first and last names like I can with Persona 5. But yeah, when I was watching the Persona 4 golden animation and everything, and his character came on, I was like, I know that voice. And then like it was just nagging at me. I'm like, I know that fucking voice. And then I was just like, that's Troy, isn't it? That's Troy. And then like he's got this line in like I think it's like episode 8 or episode 9 when he's coming to terms with himself or something. And yeah, like he's got this line in the anime that was just absolutely classic, and it's just like, who cares if I love like cute little fluffy shit or something along that line, but the way that it's expressed and Troy delivers the line, it's just comedic gold and just makes that character even more beloved because he's playing like he's portrayed as like one of them tough guy kid characters and everything, but meanwhile like he's a major softie. And yeah, I think it was a perfect role and everything for Troy to portray and everything. But I obviously became aware of Troy Baker back in 2013 for his performance as Joel Miller in The Last of Us, only to find out that I've actually known him for previous roles all throughout my childhood. And yeah, love that man dearly, and I'm still working very hard over these past couple of years to keep my promise to him. And I hope that it won't take too many years left and everything until that promise has been fulfilled and everything, and we're working together. So hang in there, Troy. If you see this, I am doing my best. But yes, so that will be it for the Persona 5 20th Anniversary Collector's Box Edition. And like I said, this version of the same Collector's Edition is available for the PlayStation 3 version as well. And I'll be trying to get the Collector's Edition for Persona 5 Royale. I'll try to get that in the Japanese version. Hopefully there'll be trophy stack list, and in a couple of weeks and everything, I will receive my Persona 5 Scramble Collector's Box Edition, and I will show you in depth like this video with everything that collection comes with. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in my next one. See you guys.